All right, back at it now. I'm glad to have you here. It's tax day, by the way, just so you know. Don't forget to pay your taxes or they'll come and beat you savagely in public or something like that. Or you'll just get nasty grams in the mail, one of the two. I saw this story yesterday, and I was curious about it because Henry Ford Hospital, my mother was there. She was very sick a number of years ago. It was a great hospital down in and around Metro Detroit, the Henry Ford Health System, right? But now they've been exposed for ongoing woke behavior, DEI. They think they're cute, but they're being called out for it. Will Hild, Executive Director for Consumers Research, with me now. Will, nice to have you here.
Great to be with you this morning.
All right, so Henry Ford, what are they doing, and what are you doing in response?
Absolutely. Well, as you noted, it's a prestigious medical clinic that was set up by the famed industrialist and philanthropist Henry Ford. And really, what we're doing is it's a six-figure campaign to call out Henry Ford and say, get back to what you're supposed to be doing, which is focusing on patient care. Because right now, what they seem to be doing is focusing on wokeness and cozying up to the far left and pushing a far left political agenda. So specifically, they are pushing the DEI stuff still. They have a program where they have said that 51% of their suppliers, so they're pushing DEI not just inside the hospital, but outside down their supply chains, 51% of their hospital suppliers are going to be LGBTQ or POCs, people of color. This is rank discrimination. And then in addition to that, they are pushing net zero targets within the hospital. The problem with net zero is it raises costs. So those costs have to be passed along to the patient. We've seen that across American industry. Whenever a company or an industry goes net zero, cost goes up. And then last but definitely not least, I want to save this because I think it's the worst, they are proudly mutilating the genitalia of children. They engage in sex change surgeries for kids under the age of 18, which I think is horrific. And I don't think, 80, 90% of the country thinks it's horrific. They need to be getting away from that and moving back to just focusing on patient care like your parents got.
You've got FordHealthExposed.com, brand new website here, and I'm on the page. And under gender ideology, according to a recent media report, Henry Ford Health admitted they are currently offering harmful, irreversible transgender treatment to kids. Henry Ford Health touts it is one of the few health systems that provides care for, quote, any transgender individual, including adolescents, and has health care providers with a specific LGBTQ plus designation, including doctors with a specialty in pediatrics and LGBTQ plus health. This is obscene. It's grotesque.
It's horrific.
I can't find enough adjectives to adequately disparage this kind of crap. What do you say?
Yeah, we completely agree. And even if they are bragging about it on their website, we still think everyone should know about it, because I think when most people walk into the Henry Ford Clinic and they believe they're going to get top flight care, what they don't think is that they've got a Dr. Mengele down the hallway mutilating children. And so we are highlighting that. We think this is grotesque behavior. No institution should be mutilating children, should be injecting them with hormones that we use to chemically castrate pedophiles. It's the same chemicals. That's how grotesque this is.
That's right.
So we are pushing back on that hard.
So what do you expect to, what are you hoping to accomplish here, Will? What are we putting together here? What are you going to accomplish? What do you hope the end result is? Look, under the Trump administration, people who get federal funds are already, in danger of losing those funds. We saw Harvard just say, you know what, we're going to do it anyway. Cost Harvard $2.2 billion. We'll see how long they stick to that narrative before they scream uncle. But for these hospitals and so forth, look, you get reimbursed by CMS. That's how it works. You get reimbursed federal dollars through CMS. And if those federal dollars just stop, I don't know how many hospitals in America could survive financially without the help of the infusion of federal dollars. What do you say?
That's exactly right. And that's why we're highlighting this, because, as you know, the Trump administration has made DEI and transgender surgeries on kids completely off the table. And they even put out an executive order asking every government department to find 9 companies or organizations to investigate for still engaging in DEI or this kind of crazy stuff that they're doing to kids. And so that's exactly why we're highlighting. I mean, obviously, I would love if Henry Ford Clinic saw our campaign and just said, you know what, we give up. This was a bad idea. We're going to move on. But short of that, I would like to see the public understand what's going on there so that they can educate the Trump administration, and that our tax dollars won't be going to mutilating and affecting children permanently negatively for the rest of their life. And additionally, we shouldn't be using tax dollars to push race and LGBTQ based discrimination. People should be getting contracts as suppliers of any organization based on the merit of the quality of the product and the price, not on rank obvious discrimination, which Henry Ford is bragging about. So those two things combined alone, I think, should disqualify them from taxpayer funds. And so we're elevating this in the public's eye for that reason.
I want to back up to this gender ideology just for a moment here, Will. How many of these surgeries, of these radical injections of powerful chemicals, how many lives are being altered permanently annually through this health system?
It's at least in the dozens. I mean, some of the other places that we've investigated, we did a Cleveland Clinic Exposed campaign. They had done over 111 procedures on children under the age of 18. Henry Ford is in a similar position, and they're bragging about it. I mean, clearly they're not ashamed of what they're doing. They should be. They're going to be answerable to somebody someday, if you catch my drift. But we hope that they're answerable here on Earth to the Trump administration. This stuff should not be getting federal funding. And we hope that the state of Michigan, I mean, the governor might be a wacky Democrat, but a lot of the legislature is not. And a lot of the populace is not. And like I said, 80 to 90% of people say you should not be touching kids with this stuff. This is insane. And so what we've seen in some of the other states where we've raised this is the public in the state has pushed back and the state government has intervened.
I think that what you're going to see here, Will, at some point, I think it's inevitable, is that some of the detransitioners who have been mutilated and cannot have, a normal life and are now medical patients for the rest of their natural lives are going to file civil lawsuits against Henry Ford, against the Cleveland Clinic, against other hospitals across this nation that have performed similar draconian, maybe Frankenstein's a better way to put it, however you want to look at it, type surgeries on these people. There's going to be a financial bill that's going to come. And I don't know that it's covered by insurance. I don't know that it's covered by malpractice because it is so far beyond the pale. I give you the last word here. I applaud what you're doing to expose this. Give me your last word.
People who'd like to learn more can visit us at henryfordexposed.com. I completely agree. And I think even from a consumer perspective, putting away what they're doing to children, this is why, your point is why it's so important to get rid of this thing, because Henry Ford does provide patient care to a lot of people. It shouldn't be bankrupted because they have a bunch of lunatics running the place over there. And so we hope that they'll curtail this now before they are facing such huge liabilities that you've rightly predicted.
There you go. Well, greatly appreciate you being here. Consumers Research. You can find out more at the website FordHealthExposed.com. FordHealthExposed.com. Will, thank you.
Thanks so much.
We'll get an update sometime in the not too distant future, figure out how well that's going. We'll be right back. It is the Steve Gruber Show. You are informed.